Welcome to the Deadlifts and Pizza podcast, where we discuss no BS fitness and nutrition.
We're your hosts. I'm Laura.
And I'm Jamie.
Let's get into it.
So, interesting study. Now I can hear myself really loudly.
Oh, we're just going to go right into it. No
we're going right
banter.
Into it. No banter. I mean, I do have a banterish thing to say, but I'm going to go right into fitness and nutrition.
I do too.
Okay, we'll go back to that. Let's do content, banter, content sandwich today.
Screw people up.
I planned this.
People are going to, get confused.
Yeah. Save your banter. Interesting study that I saw online that I wanted to chit chat about. So it's from 2024, so it's not necessarily new, but it was on, I saw somebody that I follow posted about it. And so I was reading it and I just thought it was interesting. So they took postmenopausal women, 55 of them. So it wasn't like a giant study, 55 postmenopausal women. And the study was to see basically the results of body composition and strength between like implementing a resistance training program with high protein, with low protein or standard protein, and then obviously control groups. So resistance training without high protein, resistance training with high protein, and then like high protein alone without the resistance training to see if that had effect, and just kind of comparing all of these things. So they had 4 different groups. They had resistance training plus, and I'm gonna give a real example of the protein amounts, but it's resistance training plus 2.6 grams of protein per kilo, which is high. Then they had 2.6 grams per kilo, which is high alone without any resistance training. And then they had a resistance training program with like 1.3 grams of protein per kilo. And then they had 1.3 or 1.2-ish alone, like basically the control group, like really nothing. So for example, for me, 135-ish, 130-pound person, that's like 158 grams of protein. So more than 1 gram per pound of body weight. Versus 79-ish, which is like 0.7, somewhere around there, of grams per pound of body weight. And just to give comparison, the RDA is 0.8 grams of protein per kilo. So that would be like 48 grams of protein for me. So we're comparing, it's super low. And this conversation is not about that, FYI. Yeah. But they basically took these women and they gave them like a minimal amount of protein, which was like the 79 grams for somebody like me, like 0.7 grams per pound of body weight. And then a like 1.1 or 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which would for me, 130, like 158 grams of protein. Do you want to guess what? I feel like for strength, it's obvious. Do you want to guess what the strength gains were like?
Well, I mean, like which one's better? Comparatively, I mean, obviously, more protein and strength training, you're going to get the most benefit there. Well, I don't know. I mean, it could be the same. Actually, strength could be the same between the 2 groups.
Yeah. And it was, for the most part. I mean, I think there's minor differences, but statistically insignificant differences. And then to be clear, resistance training in general, and it was like a 12-week, so this is a 12-week study, 12-week monitored strength training 3 times a week, like with a trainer. So progressive overload was applied, et cetera. And obviously strength gains were very high. And these weren't like previously trained people. So they were very high among both resistance training groups with no real statistical significance between high protein or like a moderate amount of protein. Whereas obviously the people, whether they had high protein or not, that weren't resistance training had like no difference in their strength, which makes sense, right? Because they weren't resistance training.
Yeah.
So they were testing their squat and then 12 weeks later, just randomly testing their squat again, even though they'd done nothing in between. So no change. Body composition. So we're talking fat loss as well as lean mass gain. What would your guess be there?
Sorry.
For what?
I'm cramping again.
Oh.
Just my abs just randomly start cramping. This has happened like 5 times in the podcast.
You're not even
I'm not using abs. Them. I just moved in the wrong way and they're like crunched and they're like, oh, okay.
So annoying.
So body composition. Ooh, this is challenging because I feel like just adding more protein would make a difference in body composition. I'm going to guess that the group that had the really high protein and strength trained, I'm don't know. This is hard. I
You
feel
know?
like they probably had the best body composition change.
Uh-huh.
And then the group with the high protein, this is so hard. I don't know.
You don't want to be wrong.
No, I don't. Because the group with the high protein, no resistance training compared to the group, I still think the group with the moderate, because it's still moderate. It's not like their protein was low. It's still 0.7, you said, per pound?
Yeah, it was. It still wasn't low. It was more moderate. It was like the minimum of what you'd want to eat to be able to. Yeah.
Yeah. So I would feel like they would still see changes. It's just probably not as much as the other group. And then just by eating more protein, I would feel like it would be a difference between the moderate and the high, but not as high as the other groups.
Okay. Cool. Do you want the results?
No, I just want to guess and then move on to the next thing.
All right. So what do you got for me? You want to banter now? To be honest, I ran back to the study because I was like, oh yeah, I can't remember the people who just had more protein. We do have studies that show. So I want to say this, obviously this is just one small study. It doesn't mean that the results are like insignificant or they don't matter, but it also isn't like the end all be all. There's lots of variables that could affect different outcomes. We definitely have studies that show that people who only increase their protein have lean mass gains, like literally, like body composition, positive body composition changes. But this study didn't show that. A little bit. It looks like there is definitely a little bit of a change when they increased their protein.
It looks like I'm just like trying to like show you my boobs or something.
Oh, I don't even see you. I'm on a different window right now.
Sticking my boobs out.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, look at my boobs.
I'm going like this because I'm trying to stretch out my abs.
To me, that looks like you're stretching. It doesn't look like you're.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to flash you up here.
Yeah, no, I mean you're wearing like a full coverage shirt. Like I quickly switched back to this tab because I was like, "What's happening?"
I'm just like pulling my shirt down.
I thought you were just gonna be shirtless. Like, man, it really looks like I'm just trying to show you my boobs. So yes, the people who just increased their protein, it looks like they did have some positive changes, but not really a like statistically significant. Okay. But also it was only 12 weeks. So, and also, it doesn't seem like the control group was really that low. I think it was 1.2 grams per kilo. So it's not like we were comparing it to like the RDA or something like that, which I know a lot of studies will compare it to like the RDA or compare it to like really low protein versus increasing that.
So they had no changes statistically? Like they didn't have any changes?
There's a little bit. Like, for example, the protein only group actually gained about 0.9-ish kilograms. I mean, that's such a small amount. It's like not much. And then the control group gained like 0.2.
Okay.
Skeletal muscle mass, it's literally like they gained 0 and the control group lost a little bit, like 0.4.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of a difference there, but it's not like very much. I mean, the people who just ate protein still didn't gain anything. So
it does show that eating a lot of protein, though, will help you maintain your muscle.
There you go. Maybe it shows that, right? But what I thought was interesting was there really wasn't a huge difference, not a statistically significant difference between training plus higher protein or training only.
Okay.
So the people who were only resistance training while eating like pretty moderate amount of protein, it still made a lot of gains in terms of muscle mass, skeletal muscle mass, strength, obviously, muscle thickness, and also lost body fat at a very similar rate. Actually, they lost more body fat than the training plus protein. And that's not, I think it's a small difference, first of all, but also that could be chalked up to it was 55 people for 12 weeks. There's a bunch of reasons that could have happened that don't have its correlation, right? Not causation, I think.
One question too, was there calories controlled or was it just the protein?
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I forgot to look for that specific thing. I don't remember.
That's okay.
I'd have to go look because that matters, right? So if the training only group lost more fat mass, but they were eating a moderate amount of protein, they could have also been eating less calories.
They could have been because the protein group might have been forcing themselves to eat more when they didn't need to.
Exactly.
So like, this is so much food.
Yeah, that's a really important thing that I forgot to check for. But that's why these discussions are important, right? Because you might see the headline, and you
Yeah.
might also see the headline plus somebody else's interpretation of it, which it doesn't mean their interpretation is wrong, but it's good to know. But a lot of times they are, or people will take a headline, and if somebody, I will say, if somebody doesn't discuss all of the nuance, then their
Mm-hmm.
interpretation is probably a little whack. Because if they come out like, look at this study, this means that XYZ, it very rarely, there's a lot of things to consider. And here's one of them. And like, I'm not a nutrition researcher, I'm not a research reviewer, right? I just like to
Mm-hmm.
see it for my own. But like, I'm stopping to think, oh, well, calories were controlled. Oh, well, here's these other variables. I actually also don't know if the food was really controlled or if it was just like, go track it home.
Yeah.
I didn't thoroughly read it to figure that out because I didn't feel like it because I
I
couldn't
mean,
find it right away.
it's funny too, because I remember in high school, when you would have to do experiments and conduct experiments, one of the things you learn is you have to make everything controlled that you can
Yeah,
and just change the variables that you're testing. Whereas in real life, it's really hard to do that.
it is.
And so it's really hard to control for everything. So studies, unless it's on like a big
Mm-hmm.
portion of people,
And
aren't always going to be very accurate.
you have to have companies and people that are willing to invest a lot of money, because in order to get groups of everyday people to
Yeah.
abide by these really strict, because sometimes it involves like living in a lab, because that's the
Yeah.
only way that they can control
And
it.
it's not like they get paid a lot to do it.
Yeah, you would need to pay them a lot, or to have
Yeah.
some kind of, you need like a lot of benefit for everyday people to want to, and then you get a lot of people that drop out. You need it to be
Mm-hmm.
massive in order to see.
Yeah,
So
it's just
it's good.
challenging.
Yeah, it's good to have these little studies, and they definitely speak, to stuff that we can learn from it, but it's not the
Mm-hmm.
end all be all. But what this study did kind of point out, so since there wasn't that big of a difference in terms of the mass and the strength gains, something that I think we kind of already know, but resistance training is the most important stimulus that
Yes.
you can apply and see results, whether or not you're doing everything perfectly in terms of your protein.
But there was that study where you said that there were people who,
Right, that other menopause study,
yeah, where
nothing
they
happened.
they didn't control for protein, and some of them lost muscle and things. So I think protein is pretty important.
I do too. I do think protein is important, but I had the opinion even before reading this that strength training is a really important stimulus. Obviously, we know that, right? You can't
Without,
just start eating protein and
yeah.
gain muscle. But I guess the point of kind of what I take away from this is, when there's people that feel like they have to do everything and it's
Mm-hmm.
all so overwhelming and they need to really chunk it up, if I would say starting to resistance train is more important and the other things can follow depending on your goals. Obviously it's very important to get, nutrition in line and et cetera, et cetera. But starting to resistance train, you can have benefits. And like you've talked about before, like you don't even necessarily need to change your diet, but if you start getting more active and building muscle, you will
Mm-hmm.
notice positive effects, even if your diet was like trash before. And it
Yeah.
doesn't say that you shouldn't clean it up. You shouldn't increase your protein, increase your whole foods. Like obviously that should happen. But I kind of feel like if your goals are to get healthier, to improve your bone density, to get stronger, to look better at a higher weight, because you want to build muscle, whatever your reason is for building muscle, then start strength training and let the other pieces fall into place one at a time. But if you feel overwhelmed trying to do everything, start with strength training.
I agree. I mean, I agree. I'm always saying
Yeah.
activity is more important than everything else.
Yeah.
Strength
Also, because of the
training.
mental, like there's a satisfaction. So if you're taking this avatar that fits all of these things that they want in their goals, and you have them just change their diet, it feels good. It does feel good, but the things that help you feel successful, like stepping on the scale, might be like, oh, look, I'm down a pound, or oh, my clothes are fitting better. Those things can fluctuate and lead you into
Yeah.
a weird headspace pretty quickly. You can go back and forth between feeling successful and feeling like a failure and like beating yourself up and not. Whereas when you strength train, it's almost only like positive. Like
Yeah.
and you shift the things that you start to feel positive about away from just your aesthetics and these things that are actually a little bit uncontrollable. You're seeing your strength go up pretty, consistently. You're feeling good. You're feeling confident. You're learning how to apply, these positive effects in a different way than you're used to doing. And I think that is incredibly positive.
Yeah, and it really it doesn't really depend. It really doesn't matter too much what your goal is. Strength training is going to help it.
That's true. Yep.
And fit, if your goal is to look better, strength training should help. Unless your goal is to look like a stick or something, strength training should help. If your goal is to be healthier, strength training should help. If your goal is to perform better, strength training should help. So it doesn't, it helps all of the things.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. Let's banter.
Okay. So, I might actually tear up as I'm telling this story. So, because well, you'll just see. So this morning, so I've talked to you, right, about Juliana and how challenging it is to have a child with autism, because there's the obvious challenges, right? Everything is more difficult. It's more difficult to potty train her. It's more difficult because I have to watch her every second. It's more difficult because she can't communicate. She throws tantrums. It's hard to go places. There's so many challenges, right, with it. But for me, the biggest challenge is the fact that I don't feel like I have a very good connection with her, right? So I told you the story about when my husband and I had our anniversary, and we hadn't seen them for our kids. We haven't seen them for 4 or 5 days or something. My mom dropped them off. I was in my shed working, so I didn't go out there right away. So finished what I was doing, ran outside, and Juliana was sitting on the ground, and I hadn't seen her, and I was all excited. I'm like, hey, how are you? What's up? Talking to her. And she's just kind of looking off into space. And then she looks at me for a second, not looking at me, acknowledging me, just kind of seeing that I'm there. And then she stands up, and I have my arms out. She knows when I have my arms out like this means I want a hug, right? So I'm thinking she's going to get up and come over and give me a hug, right? She stands up and just runs in the other direction. And it's it's just I don't know how to explain it, but I want more of a connection.
Is it kind of I'm going to massively be offensive to your relationship with your daughter by comparing it to animals? Okay. Is it kind of people like dogs because they give back? And one of the reasons I would never get a turtle is because it doesn't
There's
give
no
me
affection.
anything. And I'm not saying that having Juliana is having a turtle. Obviously you love her, it's different.
No, I know what you're saying.
That's the thing I can relate it to.
Yeah, because that's why people love dogs, because they are affectionate. And yeah, where she doesn't acknowledge me, it feels like if I left and I was replaced with somebody else, she would not care. Mm-hmm. She just wants she just needs somebody to feed her and change her and do things for her. But there's no you know what I'm saying? It doesn't really matter if it's me or if it's someone else or whatever.
I just want to interject and say, I actually don't think that's true. Yeah. And I'm not saying that as and you'll say sometimes when you text me oh man, I could disappear and she would not care, because I know it feels that way, but I don't think that's actually true. But we can talk about that. Finish your story.
So this morning, she was in a really good mood, right? So she woke up all smiley. She must have got really good sleep or something. So she was sitting on the couch, and I came over and knelt down and was looking at her face, and she looked up and she smiled at me, and then she put her arms out she wanted a hug, and I've never seen her do that before. So it made my day. All day I'm just elated.
Did you hug her?
Oh yes, I definitely hugged her.
That is so sweet.
Yes.
Who let go of the hug first?
That's all I need. Just that every once in a while is all I need it's just a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Who
let go of the hug first?
I did, because she was just kind of yeah.
I was going to say, you can't let go. You can't ever let go. But she might just drift off and start watching TV again and then be are we still here?
I don't want to push it.
I literally 100% believe that she has those feelings and she just expresses them differently. It very well could have been that when she saw you, mm-hmm. she was almost a little annoyed that you had left for that long. and like detached.
I don't think so.
You know, I don't know. I'm
she
saying
cares.
I think that she cares, and she just has very different ways of expressing and feeling and understanding it all.
And I'm not saying that she doesn't love. Like, she does love. I'm just saying that I don't think there's like a huge connection between the two of us where I am important. I'm her, like with Caleb, like I'm his mom. I'm not really replaceable. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of want to look this up now. I wonder if this is.
I'm
like
sure you'll find. Oh, they love the same.
All these like fluffy things. No, I want to know non-fluffy things. Like, for real, what is the difference in the way that they perceive and show attachment and stuff like that?
And I know they're all. I mean, it's not every autistic kid. They're all different too.
That's true.
But
but there's got to be some similarities across the.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice. That was today?
Yeah. That was today, this morning.
Very nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Totally different banter topic is that, you know what I find very funny? So I have a friend who, she always likes to make changes in her house. She's like constantly wanting to improve this or improve that. And if she doesn't have like a mini project going, she finds something. And sometimes they're really, really small, like switching out all the baskets and the blah, blah, blah. But sometimes they're bigger. Like right now, it's like trying to build a patio out back. And her husband is extremely resistant every single time she wants to make a change. When they talk about it, he seems fine. And then as soon as she goes into action, even if the thing makes so much sense, like there's no reason why this shouldn't happen, like this house should have been built with this thing and now you're going to add it in. And it's like he's very resistant to things changing. And she's learning about him through these like little scenarios. And one of the things we were talking about the other day, because the one thing funny about this guy is that they came to visit us in San Antonio more than 2 years ago, because it was before we left for Korea. We were in Korea for 2 years, so maybe 3 years ago. And they wanted me to like take them through a training session and like whatever. So we did that. We did a training session. I wrote a workout on the whiteboard and we did it. And he wrote down that workout and he has done it once a week, every week for the past 3 years.
Oh, I think you've told me about this.
I have.
Yeah.
I remember telling you this. He hasn't changed it. It's the Jamie workout. He really doesn't have a lot of desire to do any more than once a week. And no desire to change it or do something a little different. Zero boredom. And so
that's crazy to me.
That's crazy.
Insane.
To me. That story plus how resistant he is. He's this incredibly laid back, chill person, like the most laid back, chill person you ever actually meet. But through these stories, I was like, I don't think he's actually very laid back. I think he's actually very like resistant to change and very set in his ways. And she said, I told you that he eats oatmeal with peanut butter and banana every morning for breakfast, right? I'm like, well, yeah, but how long has that been going on? Literally 15 years. 15 years. Every single morning, he has oatmeal with peanut butter and banana. And he has zero desire to change it. He even sometimes when he goes on trips and visits other people's houses will pack it so that he knows he has his stuff. Talk about like reducing decision fatigue. But you hear about those people who are like in their 80s and they're like, oh, I've done the same thing every day for 30 years. And you're like, does it exist? It exists.
I am the exact opposite of that. I need variety. I need change.
Like most I get people bored. Are. I feel like most people are. I never actually met somebody. If anybody here is listening has had like aligns with this, like has had the exact same, like maybe breakfast every morning for years. It could even be 1 year and I would be amazed.
Yeah. I mean, I have a shake almost every morning, but I do change it up. I don't have it every morning. It does take away that decision fatigue if I know what I'm going to have for breakfast.
Do you change up the recipe sometimes?
I do. I'll add different things to it sometimes, but it's mostly the same.
And how many years have you been doing that? 15?
5.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't have it?
Sometimes I don't have it. No, I don't have it every morning. Like sometimes I'll switch it up and I'll have oatmeal or I'll have eggs or I'll have protein pancakes on Sundays we have usually. Yeah.
Do you go on little stints where you're like, the smoothie's mostly there, but then you'll go on a stint where like for 2 weeks you'll have this like one thing and then you go back to the smoothies? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is like, this is not that. This is literally every morning and nothing else can replace it. Maybe something could be an addition to it. I think it's like, okay, you're making eggs. I'll have some egg, but this has to be there.
And I'm not resistant. Like if somebody was like, hey, let's have this for breakfast or try this recipe, I wouldn't be like, no, I need to have my smoothie.
Oh, this is a question I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him this. I'm going to be like, is there what if we were going to go get brunch? Would you not have brunch, or would you still have the oatmeal? I would think that he would be fine with it, but still, I just can't imagine. Yeah.
Speaking of changing diets, so it's another transition. Nice, smooth.
Mine wasn't.
Smooth.
How do I go from autism to oatmeal? Something very emotional to something not emotional at all. Speaking of all of your feelings and your tears.
So I've been having gut issues, dude, and I don't know why. They came out of nowhere. Remember when I switched my high calorie, like the high calorie with the low calorie, like the really low calorie days? That's when I feel like it started, but I don't know if that's the reason. I wouldn't think that was the reason. It just seemed to aggravate it maybe, and now it just hasn't gone away. And I just don't feel good. And with it has come along with fibro symptoms that change. They fluctuate every day. So some days are worse than others. Like yesterday was not a good day. Today I don't think so. Don't think it's the greatest day either. So I've decided to, because I haven't done this in like, when did I do that? I think it was like 2021. So like 4 years ago, I did like a gut healing protocol and did it. And once I did that, because strength training helped my fibro symptoms, where before I strength trained, it was like 3 weeks out of the month, I felt like crap, and not always consistently. It's not like 3 weeks were good and then 1 week was bad. It could be intermittent. There might be a day per week that I felt good. You know, it was something like, but on average, it would probably be like a third or 2/3 of the month. No, that's not right. 3/4 of the month, I felt like crap.
Dang. Just to clarify, you have fibromyalgia.
I think I do. I say fibro symptoms because I don't know what it is, but I think that's what it is, and a lot of times it's correlated with gut issues, right?
Yeah, and your mom has fibromyalgia, so it's not like random.
No, so yeah, when I started strength training, it flipped. It was like 3 weeks of the month I felt good, and 1 week I felt like crap, but it was still there and it still bothered me. And then I did a gut healing thing. It's like a whole thing where you have to take supplements and get rid of, for me, it was Candida and SIBO was the one that I did. And it's this whole protocol that you have to follow about like 12 weeks. And after I did that, I didn't have fibro symptoms for like at least 6 months, but I think it was longer. And it was like amazing. Like I feel like I like cured myself, and it has come back since then, but it's very intermittent and a lot less than it used to be.
So now that your gut is feeling crappy again and your fibro symptoms are flaring up more often again, you're feeling like you're almost like slipping back into that.
Yeah. And it's not as bad because I don't think, so before I had intolerances too. So if I ate eggs, I would notice it right away. And when you eat like pretty healthy, you notice like which foods cause it. So I noticed like eggs, especially as I started to feel better and it wouldn't come as often. So it'd be like eggs, citrus fruits. It's like random stuff. Eggs, citrus fruits, almonds, and sunflower seeds, which I don't know if that's more of like a diverticulitis type of thing or something like that. And a couple other things. And now I can still eat those things and they don't seem to bother me. So I don't think, and it didn't, and the intolerances didn't go away right away. It took a while because I still think, so the diet got rid of the SIBO and the Candida and all the supplements, but then you still have to heal your gut, right? So I got rid of all that crap, but then I had to like heal and seal it, and that took a while, right? So there was a protocol after that to seal it, which is like taking a bunch of L-glutamine and I don't remember what else, but I don't even know if you need to do that. I think over time your body will heal it on its own, especially if you do get enough, protein and the right amino acids and everything. But it just takes time. And I think I did, but now I feel like it must have came back, and it's normal for that to happen. It's been a long time. So
yeah. Are you
sorry, I just ramble.
I
feel like I just talked for too long.
No, you didn't. Let me mark that. Yeah, do all your noisy things right now because this is all getting cut out.
I know. I was like, I'm thirsty.
What was I going to ask you? Oh, did you like lose weight when you was it like a very small amount of calories that you had to eat?
I
when you
did
did
lose
it?
weight. I did lose weight. I think I lost like 7 pounds at the time. So I was like 130 pounds, I think, at the time.
Do you know how
So
many calories you were eating? Were you tracking at that time?
it was probably like 1,600
Oh,
because
okay. That's not as low
it
as I
was.
would have thought.
It wasn't like you have to eat this many calories, but it was like you
Yeah.
need to eat. So in the morning it wants you to have a smoothie with you can have fruits and things in that, and later on, so that you get to add things
Yeah.
back in. It's
Mm-hmm.
like an elimination diet kind of. So the first 3 weeks are the most strict, and then after time you can start adding things in, so the calories can go up a little bit more later. But it's smoothie type thing in the morning. Then for lunch it's and you have to have things like spaced out at least 3 hours apart. For lunch, it's like protein and then a certain amount of vegetables, like a cup of vegetables, and then like a half a cup of like a starchy vegetable, and the same thing for dinner, something like that. And if I break it up, it's probably like 1,600 calories, depending on which things I'm eating.
Yeah, and it definitely depends on. I have a SIBO protocol for clients, and if people are successful with it, because it's really hard to stick to, and because it feels like dieting, it's hard to really, so it's like this mental hurdle. But if you already had, experience with eating healthy and controlling your food a little bit, then it probably wasn't as hard as somebody who they're trying to lose weight and they're trying to do all these things, and then they realize they need a gut reset. And if they go through it, they usually lose weight
Yeah.
because you're controlling your portions. But sometimes the amount of food that they have to eliminate means they don't even really want to eat. And sometimes people almost like barely eat anything.
Yeah. There's a snack in there too, and he even says like in the protocol, like if you're not eating enough, you can up the portions. You can have more of the protein. You can have more of the vegetables. You can have more of the things. It's basically you can eat like in the beginning, you can eat fruit, vegetables, and meat, and fish, and seafood.
Yeah. So what?
And olive oil.
But we've had this conversation before. Those are the foods you already eat. What are the things that you're gonna have? What is this protocol for you? Because you don't eat anything else. Eggs? Oh heavens! Or adding in supplements? Is that what's going to be different? I guess
Dairy.
Okay. Eggs.
I can add eggs as it goes on.
Yes,
so
but you'll cut them out for the first 3 weeks. What's going to be different the first 3 weeks? That's what I want to know for you.
Dairy.
That's
and
it.
Eggs.
Dairy and eggs.
And I can't have any carbohydrates. So like I should say grains. I can't have any grains.
I was going to say, so, you're eating vegetables. How are you not having carbohydrates?
Sorry, I meant like those kinds of carbohydrates. But
grains, beans. You can't have beans, right? Or can you?
No, I can have beans.
Oh, okay.
But you know what is the hardest part? And this was the hardest part the first time, and I'm assuming it will be this time because I could put them in everything, is onions and garlic for the first 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah, that's different. Okay. So onions, garlic, all grains, which I know you eat grains.
I do. I just don't eat them very often.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I can eat potatoes. I think I can eat potatoes.
I think you can. I'm trying to remember what is in that time frame.
Yeah. They're not all going to be the same.
The hardest thing for a lot of people who are going through, because a lot of times when I realize, or when I'm helping someone realize they have gut issues, it's when they're like starting to strength train and starting to try to eat better, but they're still having these gut issues. And it's like, okay, well, let's go down this checklist. Okay, you should do this like SIBO protocol. But they're going from like you can't eat any like processed foods or sugar, or like all of that stuff has to be cut out. No alcohol, plus no grains and all of these things. And it is like, but for you, I feel like what's different? You already eat like that.
The difference is the quantity.
Yeah.
like I am hungry right now. I am starving. I want to go eat. And you know what I really want to just eat is like a banana or blueberries.
You can't have bananas in the first 3 weeks, can you?
No, I can. I just can't eat them right now. Because I already ate breakfast.
Spacing?
Yeah, because of spacing. Yeah. So it's more the quantity, and I normally eat all day long.
Yeah.
So I'll eat breakfast, and then a couple hours later I'll have a snack, and then a couple hours later I'll have another snack, and then I'll eat lunch, and then I'll have a snack, and then I'll have dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you going to start it? Are you going to do? Oh, well, you started it. It sounds like.
So I started started it with the diet. I haven't gotten the supplements yet. They come tomorrow. So I've kind of like, so I can ease into it. So I've cut out like the dairy and things.
So you're doing it. How long? So it's going to be full 12 weeks?
Yep. So
Wow.
The first 3
All
weeks
right.
are going to be the hardest.
Keep me updated.
Yeah. And I figure this is a good time to do it because August, September, October, not really a lot going on. Yeah. I think this is the exact time I did it last year.
Yeah.
Or not last year, the last time.
Like 5 years ago.
4 years ago, yeah.
4 years ago. All right. Keep us updated.
Yeah, I will.
Q&A?
Sure.
I have a question that goes right into talking about supplements.
Okay.
That only you can answer this one. This is a question for you.
Okay.
Can you recommend a supplement that actually helps with brain function? I feel like in a constant state of fog and forget silly things. There's got to be something that makes you a little more sharp.
Okay, so something like L-tyrosine, super helpful.
Is that the one you were taking?
It's in one of the ones I'm taking.
Okay.
Yeah. So something with L-tyrosine in it. L-theanine also, especially if you have caffeine. L-theanine is really good to take with caffeine. It helps you level out. It's like makes it so it's not, you know how with caffeine you kind of have like ups and downs a little bit? It kind of like levels it out.
Okay.
Not for you, but with some people. So it's not like this, like I don't know how to explain it, but it makes it feel more mild and a better, like longer lasting, concentrating feeling instead of feeling. But it also can help with concentration and thinking and all of that.
I know creatine helps with brain function overall, but I don't know if it helps with brain fog or like day-to-day clarity.
Yeah. A lot of it might. A lot of like nootropics and like what are they called? Adaptogens and things like lion's mane and all of that stuff is supposed to help with that stuff. Choline. I talk about choline all the time.
Is that from tomatoes?
No, that's lycopene.
Okay.
Choline is in eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, there's something that's in tomatoes that she's always talking about. Lycopene.
No. Yeah, choline is in eggs. That's the biggest source. That's the easiest place to get it from, but it's also in like chicken and turkey and meat and different meat. But it's in vegetables too. It's just in smaller amounts. Like eggs, if you eat like 2 eggs a day, you should be good. But you can get that in a supplement too to get more of it. It's also in like sunflower oil and things like that. I think
seed oils are bad.
Yeah, I know. They're horrible. But like when they make it like in a supplement, it's usually from like is that the one? I think it is. Like anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is. But I think of it as eggs. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Next one. I don't have anything to say on that one. Sounds good. Okay. Thanks, Laura.
If I had more time to research, I could give you a better answer.
Yeah.
But that's just off the top of my head.
Here's a basic one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm new to this and I'm wanting to lose weight and gain muscle at the same time. Anything that will help me on my journey? Oh, you're in such a good spot.
They want to gain muscle and lose weight at the same time?
Yes.
Sometimes when you ask a question, I'm thinking about the last question.
Yeah.
And then I'm like trying to think about both things at the same time. Okay.
No, moving on from all of the L's and into I'm new and I'm wanting to lose weight and gain muscle at the same time.
Well, that's what you should do. That's actually what you should do. Good job.
And it will happen.
It will happen. All you have to do is strength train, eat your protein, and get your calories around maintenance. You don't want to be gaining too much weight. You don't want to be losing too much weight. You want it to be within 100, 200 calories of your maintenance level, and you're good to go. So if your maintenance is like 2,000 calories, like for real, this is the best goal, because if your maintenance is like 2,000 calories and you're strength training, like you don't even have to be that specific. You can eat like 2,100, 22, 1,800. Like you could be in that range. It's the best.
It's the most beautiful place you could possibly be.
It is.
You shouldn't do anything super, super specific. You should just start training, track your workouts, and start being aware of the food you're eating and tracking, maybe even just for awareness. And then if you're going to go beyond that, protein and produce at each main meal, And then if we're going to go beyond that, all right, what are the calories like? What is my estimated maintenance? Let's maybe try to get them around that, making sure you eat enough protein. But yeah, like you said, there's so much progress you can make.
Yeah, this was my favorite time when I first started, and this was what happened. And this is what I did, and I was like, "This is the best." Yeah,
yeah. I really hate when I see people start and get so overwhelmed with everything they think they're supposed to do. I mean, I just saw a question recently that was like, "Oh, it's this one right here." Oh, let's branch into this actually.
okay.
This person said, I'm trying to dial in my calorie deficit before I dig into weights. So she said that way I know what I'm supposed to be doing and then I can add in more with muscle gain. So essentially this person wants to lose fat first before she starts strength training. You're shaking your head. Hold on.
No.
I've been told so many things and I'm just not sure what to do. Apps tell me to consume 1,174 calories to be in a deficit to lose 1.5 pounds per week. 1,174 calories, right? Hold on. That set me at only 117 grams of protein. Both are low to what I've been told by other information. It's very confusing on what the correct calories and macros should be. I would appreciate some help. I want to lose 40 pounds and I'll add weights back in once I dial in nutrition.
Okay, so that's part of my question was like, how much weight does she have to lose? Because 1,174 sounds really low unless you are already small. So she's most likely not small if she has to lose 40 pounds. And it's okay if your goal is weight loss at first. You don't have to do recomp at first because I can imagine if you're 40 pounds overweight, you want to lose some of that right away, right? So that's okay. But strength train at the same time so that you're maintaining your muscle, or you might even be able to build muscle at the same time as you're losing that weight. So still strength train, but don't eat 1,174 calories.
It's also a very specific number.
Yeah, unless you sit on your butt all day long and don't move. And if that's what you do, that's what we need to fix.
Yeah. That and this, the reason this ties in is because I was going to say they start doing things like this. They feel like their goal is so big. They feel like overwhelmed with all the things they're supposed to do. They're getting 1 calorie amount from one page, 1 calorie amount from another, 1 protein amount from one. And the reality is there is no exact calorie number. The only thing, and there's some that are wrong, right? Like 1,174 calories is likely just straight up wrong. There are some that are wrong. They're unrealistically low, unrealistically high, but then there's a wide range in the middle of what's going to work. And I would say even for this person, I agree with you. It's okay to want to lose fat first and like see that quickly, but you can literally achieve that at maintenance. For somebody whose diet is all over the place and they're not really active, you could eat your calories at maintenance, 2,000, 2,200, whatever, and strength train and still find yourself in a deficit enough to lose fat. And then when that kind of starts to stall, you pull down from there. I'd actually say that's the best way to go, not starting at 1,174 calories, because you're going to be tired and frustrated and hungry by the end of Thursday. And it's going to all like be so hard to stick to.
I can see both. Like I can see you doing both. It depends on the person, their mindset. So if you're somebody who needs to see those, like if you're at maintenance and you're not seeing that scale drop, you might get a little discouraged. If you're working with someone, that's different. Like if we're working with them, that's different because we could be there and be like, hey, no, you're fine. Everything's good. But like if you're on your own and you're like trying to start something and you're like not seeing any changes on, you might get a little discouraged. So starting in a deficit can be okay.
But there's that balance between like, okay, they're too high to see that scale drop that I want to be able to see. But dropping to, 1,100 calories is going to backfire. So there's a middle ground there. And so that's why I say start as high as you can and pull down until you find a spot where you're. And I would say don't actually change anything. I usually say 4 weeks. I usually say wait 4 weeks. But for somebody in this situation where they really want to see weight loss, if you're eating, I will say that just anecdotally, if you are eating less calories and you're in a deficit, you're going to start to see some scale change pretty immediate. So I would say give it a week or two. And if you don't see anything, you can go ahead and pull down a little bit until you see some movement.
And if you've never tracked, and she's probably brand new, so she's probably never tracked or anything before, just tracking, you're probably going to be better off and probably already going to be eating a little bit less calories because of that.
Yeah. And build muscle for 2 other main reasons. Like do the weights now because one, you're going to, we talk about this a lot. It's not just having muscle on your body. It's the process of building muscle that increases your metabolism and allows you to eat more. Like point blank, it happens. And number two, the thing I said before on this podcast about the mental change, starting to see that progress and feeling good about the progress you're making every single day at the gym so that you can put your eggs in more than one basket, right? And I think that
Yeah.
is a huge mental shift.
Yeah. It's just a lot easier to stay consistent. I
So
don't think
much
I
more.
would be consistent if it was like all about weight loss.
Yeah. But this whole, it really bugs me, these whole like very specific numbers. There's ranges, because even if your body is burning a specific number of calories every day, that's pretty consistent. It's really hard to figure out what that is. And that's going to change depending on different things that are going on, your hormones, your activity levels, even the food you're eating is going to depend on how you're digesting and then burning those. Like so many things are going to affect that output. That really, you just want to be in a range. You don't need to be eating like 1,174 calories and 117.8 grams of protein. Like,
have you ever had a client like that where they're like, oh, I was off by 10 calories? It's like, you're okay.
Well, I told you about the first nutrition coach I ever hired for myself. Do you remember that story?
Yeah, she would circle all the things that you were off.
Yeah, it was a spreadsheet, and I had to enter everything in a spreadsheet. And if I was more than, I think it was 5 grams with protein, and I think it was 5 grams with, I don't know, it was like 5 to 7 or something like that grams. And then with calories, I think it was like 20 calories or 25 calories in either direction. She would highlight it red. And I would log into my thing and it would all be red.
Science doesn't work that way.
No, I'm like so fit. Are you kidding me? I'm not a red spreadsheet client. Apparently I was.
That would be so frustrating to me.
Yeah. Instead of trying to change it, I just fired her. It's like, no.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah. And if I go by the calculators, my calories are like 1700, 1800, and I know I can eat more than that. So they're not always very accurate either.
Mine are only that at maintenance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. At maintenance, they're like that.
Mm-hmm.
I also tend to underreport if you're doing like a TDEE calculator, which is my favorite one online, tdee.net. I like that one, but it has you report not just how often you move, but like how I think it like intensely you work out. So it's like how hard your workouts are. And I under report actually, because I know most people over like, oh yeah, I'm very active. Like you don't really know what very active means. You're not very active.
Is like you're getting like 15,000 steps a day
and working out and sweat. Exactly. Yeah. Most people are not like, oh yeah, I move around a lot at work. Like actually that's not very, it's bare minimum actually.
Yeah.
People think not sitting down all day is like active. Like no, actually that's bare minimum. It's like the zero line, you're in the negative numbers if you're sitting all day. Like your zero line is like 7,000 steps. Like that's zero.
Yeah.
Anyway, maybe not. Maybe 5,000 is zero. Either way, that's a whole other conversation. But I underreport because I know most people do. But when I overreport and I say, no, actually, I am having very intense workouts and I'm pretty damn active, then I get more of the calories that match.
Maybe that's why. Because I do the same thing.
But then I'll have periods of life, obviously, where I am not as active as that. So then I adjust it. But my deficit calories, because of my height and my weight, are always disgustly low.
Mine
I'm just
too.
like, no, I'm ignoring you.
But for real, mine need to be disgustingly low. My activity, because I've been feeling so crappy lately, has been lower than normal. And I feel like I'm like such a waste of life. Like I'm like, you need to get up and move, whatever. That's how I talk to myself. And I'm looking and my average is still 8,000. It's not like I've been getting like 5,000 steps a day. I'm averaging over 8. It just feels like.
That's you being like disgusted with yourself. God, I'm such a sloth. I think I had one of those days the other day because I've just been, this weekend's been weird for me. I've been, my husband took my kids to El Paso and I've had the house to myself. I've literally been alone. Like whenever I've been alone, like away from my family, it's because I left and went and did something. They've never left. And I've been here and it is kind of cool. I've actually really enjoyed it. I miss them so much, but it's been really nice. I
bet
lots of things.
I get it.
But you'd think I'd be like working out every day and no, I have so much to do. I'm catching up on work. I'm organizing the house. I'm emptying boxes. I'm doing, puppy training and stuff like that. But I had a day the other day where I was like, wow, I am just like really not taking advantage of this time. I haven't worked out. I'm not even being active. Like I'm such a lazy bum. Like, oh my God, I'm the worst. And I looked at my watch and it was like 3 p.m. and I was at like 7,000 steps. And I was like, oh, all right, well, I can still get to 10. Like even just my evening walk with the puppies, like I bet I'll be at 10. And
Yeah.
no, I didn't work out at 10,000, but
yeah.
Anyway, it's just funny.
And sometimes I think that real life activity, not artificial activity that we do, is better, So moving boxes.
Because you're moving in different planes of direction, and you're moving in different they say there isn't actually one posture that's a terrible posture. It's the fact that we are in one posture for too long. So it's not that sitting is a bad posture, or even rounding your shoulders when you're sitting is not even bad. It's that we sit in that for too long, because even standing for too long is bad. It's sitting in, it's being in one position. Our bodies were made to move and be in different positions. And the best posture is one that's constantly changing. That's it.
Yes.
When you're going through everyday life, you're changing, you're lifting, you're doing different things, working different muscles, different planes of motion. We're twisting, we're resisting twisting, all these things.
Exactly.
Yep.
Agree.
You want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. How do we feel about alcohol? Actually, this was just a question I was talking to somebody else about, because they were like, oh, I feel so guilty. Sometimes I really just want to have a social drink, but like I'm trying to get fit. Like, and I just, So anyway, this person says, how do we feel about alcohol? I'm in a calorie deficit right now, and a few times a week I will save enough calories for a seltzer or two. I have heard that alcohol can slow metabolism. Do you think 3 to 4 drinks a week will slow my fat loss progress, even if I'm staying within my calories? Will it affect my body's ability to maintain or grow muscle? How about my metabolism?
I mean, it does affect. I mean, the new research shows that even one drink isn't really healthy, like no alcohol is, because they used to say it's so dumb. They used to say that, it's okay in moderation. It's actually healthy. Mm-hmm. It's just on a different tangent. This is just in a different direction, but I think it's really funny. I just find this hilarious when people are like, seed oils, they're awful. Don't eat any seed oils. Don't eat this food. Don't eat this food. Don't eat this food. And then they go out and they have a bunch of drinks.
Did you see your favorite fitness influencers post on that?
No.
Sohee Lee?
No,
she just posted something. Have you seen that one that's going around? Like, do you have any kids? Yes, I have one daughter. Yes. It's like where you're repeating the same thing and the person doesn't seem to understand.
Have you seen that actually thing where that came from?
No.
It's really funny.
I need to go watch, because I was why is this a song?
Yeah, it's like this like dating app where someone was asking someone like, do you have any kids? And she's like, yeah, I have one daughter. And then he's like, can I ask, like, are they by the same father?
And then they wrote a song to like match the chit chat.
And she's like, I have just one daughter. I don't understand, because he kept asking her the same question, and she's like, I don't understand.
That makes sense. I was like, why did somebody write a song about this? And what is the bigger meaning? Oh, I see.
Yes.
I've seen one before about Facebook Marketplace.
Yes.
Where they, oh my God, and they write a song to the chat.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So funny. It's like, I'm standing right outside. I don't see you. That's so funny.
I saw the one girl do that on stage. It was like her conversation about giving something away for free, maybe, or something.
You sent me that.
Did I?
Or maybe I sent it to you.
I don't know. It's funny.
We saw the same one. That's funny.
Yeah.
Or I think we even talked about it already. But yeah, so she did. No, Sohee Lee did one where she was doing that back and forth, and the person was like,
I think I did see that actually.
Seed oils, and she was like, "Oh, that's great," but she was like drinking a bottle of alcohol, and she's like, "You really shouldn't." I don't know. It was like one of those.
Yeah,
I agree with you. So what do you think? Do you want to answer this? Do you want me to answer?
You can answer it.
I think that yes. Okay, so there's two things going on. Alcohol does actually slow down your metabolism a little bit, because I don't know if I would say it slows down your metabolism per se, but it kind of stops like fat loss, oxidation, and stuff.
It's like your body's processing that, right? So it's not doing all the other stuff, right?
It pauses other things and gets rid of the alcohol in your system.
Yeah, because that's just like main priority.
If your calories are still at a deficit, it's still going to come down to that. So even if all that process is paused, once the alcohol is out of your system, your body's going to go back to its normal process. And so you can absolutely have a drink or two, 3 or 4. It starts to, that's where we just start to get into, you can't really say. It depends on the person, it depends on the drink, it depends on the body. Because the other thing, so yes, you can scientifically, calories in, calories out, drink a couple drinks a week and still lose body fat. But where it starts to get hard too is how alcohol affects your like inhibitions. Like we start to get relaxed with wanting to just eat and snack. Also how you feel the next day. So your workout might not be good. you're sacrificing 1 or 2 workouts a week because you can't recover from the drinks.
And sleep, your sleep gets affected.
Absolutely. It's going to mess up your sleep. How much it's going to mess up your sleep depends a lot. Like as we get older, it definitely impacts it more. My mom's a huge, like, she loves to drink wine, and she drinks wine every single night. She just loves it so much. And she's been for multiple years going through this process where she's trying to get it to where she just drinks on the weekends, and she'll go through like months or maybe even like up to a year of being successful. And then she'll kind of slip back into just like a glass of wine with dinner every night. But even just a glass of wine with dinner every night, she was telling me on the phone, my mom's 62, 63, something like that. Can't even keep track of my mom's age. Mm-hmm. But she said she wears like a Fitbit tracker to sleep. She was like, even when I just have 1 glass of wine with dinner, my heart rate is like 10 to 15 beats per minute higher. And that's the kind of thing where, like, then even if you're sleeping and even if you don't necessarily remember and wake up, you didn't really get into your restful sleep phase because your body can't get there. And it can really impact you. So that's where actually, it can have impacts. Yeah.
That's why I don't drink, is for that reason, because it affects my sleep so badly.
Yeah.
And it not in a noticeable way, not just my Fitbit told me kind of way. Like I'll get like 4 hours of sleep that night. It really messes me up. So that's why I don't drink except for special occasions.
Yeah. I same. And I'm so mad. Wine seems to be the worst. Mm-hmm. I can't even have 1 glass of wine without waking up in the morning with a pounding headache. Mm-hmm. And I have trouble sleeping. Like I had just like 2 glasses of wine with friends like 2 weekends ago, and my night was awful. I couldn't get into a restful sleep. And when I did, took so long to fall asleep. When I finally fell asleep, it was light and disturbed the whole time. I got like 2 hours of sleep, maybe. And then this past weekend, I went out with a friend and I just made sure to get like a clean liquor, like clear liquor. So gin with soda water. That's like a drink I like. I still felt the effects of it. I felt fine. I slept fine. I woke up fine.
Yeah. That's cool. Like mine is usually vodka and seltzer, something like that.
Yeah.
And that's that usually because it hydrates me at the same time, and that usually helps. But I still don't. It still messes with me. But definitely wine is definitely the worst.
It's crazy because wine is such like a sophisticated drink, and it's one that you're supposed. And that's the one that they used to say, it has these health benefits, and you can have like 1 a day, and you drink it with dinner, and it's got all these notes. It's something that you feel like if you just have like gin every night, somebody would judge you. If you have a glass of wine every night, it almost feels like, oh, okay, like look at you.
That's very true.
1 glass of not even 1 glass. I'll have half a glass on a Friday night because I'm like, ooh, I'm just gonna like have a little while I watch TV. I will get 0 effects from it. I won't actually feel like I've had alcohol, and I'll wake up with a headache. I think it's the sugars in it. I want to do some research on that actually, because it didn't used to affect me the way it does now.
Yeah.
Getting old.
It's funny because, and I know I blame everything on my gene mutation, but I really do think this has to do with my gene mutation because it wasn't me searching for this. It came up when I was looking, and I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Because when I drink, alcohol affects my body before it affects my brain. So I won't feel drunk, but my body is like so messed up. It's like that ataxia I get.
Yeah. Like the dizziness.
It's like that, but it's different than just dizziness. It's like I literally can't control my body in what it's doing. It's like my coordination is off. So when I'm walking, I look drunk. It's exactly what it looks like. So when I was playing basketball that time, that's what you can picture as like someone who's drunk trying to play basketball.
My God.
So if I swim, like, people like to go out on the lake and go boating when they drink. I cannot drink on the water. I'm like, people are crazy. I can't swim. I will drown. I will die.
Oh man. Remind me to hang out with you when we're drinking.
Yeah. I've played like, I remember I was at somebody's house and I had been drinking and we were playing catch with the football and I could still throw it and
just not in the right direction.
But no, it was there. But then when it was my turn to catch it, I was like, like,
that's so funny.
It's like, where is it? I don't know how to explain it.
My brother-in-law is half Japanese, and I guess there's something genetically in like Asian populations. I think specifically like Japanese, Chinese, Korean, that doesn't process alcohol the same way. I don't remember what it was. My sister can like name it, but if he even has like half a beer, he gets like a little drunk. Like a little tipsy because of the way his body like is with alcohol.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. I mean, I don't know.
funny because she'll be like, they'll have a date night and she'll be like, Kurt had half a beer, and she'll send a picture of him and he's like, his eyes are half open and he's like smirking at the camera. I'm like, oh my God.
That's like me and caffeine. I just don't process it the same.
Yeah. All right. That was awesome. Thank you so much for listening. We will leave a 5-star review and leave a comment. And there was something we asked you earlier to let us know your thoughts on. Do that. Do you remember what it was? Yeah. I was like, ooh, let us know what you think about that. Anyway.
This time? I don't remember.
Yep, this time.
Remind us because I don't remember.
Remind us what it was in the comments below. Thanks so much. See you next week.
Bye.